All right, guys, so either now you're on video number 3 or you've just got redirected from video number 2 because you've got a horse that is a little pushy, or they just don't know, they haven't learned to be able to stand still yet, and we haven't required that of them. Well, this is going to seriously help you out. We're going to start with backing our horses from a distance. And why was that important? This is all of these exercises, but this one in particular is one of my favorites for horses that are in the barn aisle. We're trying to get them tacked up, groomed, or anything like that. So often when I ask people to get into certain exercises and I say, okay, start standing in front of your horse and do X, Y, or Z, the first thing they do is they go walk around their horse and put themselves wherever they would end up, instead of asking the horse to move to a position to where they can stand still. And that is the crux of backing up at a distance, is that say you're in the barn aisle, you reach over to get a set of brushes and your horse starts wandering off, or your horse starts coming closer, right? I bend over and my horse starts coming towards me. She's like, I'm not really supposed to do this. And then I'm like, hey, you need to be able to get back, right? And I need to be able to back her up, and I can still stay down here and get my brushes, right? I am a big fan of minimalizing things. Everybody needs to work with their horses like they've got 12 more to do for the day. And so a lot of times we'll do all the work with our horses, and our horses learn to be how we should be, which is minimalist, right? And so with this exercise, there's been horses that just basically need to learn how to stand still and be a little more patient. They need to, or maybe they're really pushy. And there's some horses that like are sent to me in training, and I don't want to be in the next county close to them because they're just rearing up, running people over, doing whatever the case may be. So backing up from a distance is one of the first things I like to do with a horse. Number 3 in my series usually, unless I got a horse that is really pushy. And I like to do this before I actually reach up underneath their chin and do it, because if I had one that was real touchy, this is a Mustang from the BLM, right? Initially when I first taught her to lead and taught her to back up, it was from a distance. I wasn't sticking my hand up underneath her chin quite yet, but I still wanted to be able to teach her how to back up from a distance. So what the key to this is, we always start at the lightest point that we can. And that would be that I'm taking my hand, I'm going to say, hey, can you step your feet back? Good. I'm going to reward her on that because she's good. I'll walk you guys through this, okay? But you see, I raise my hand. I'm not raising my hand all the way up here. It's just basically right to the bottom of her nose. And I'm thinking about, as I pick up on this lead rope, that I'm picking up on those individual feet and setting those feet backwards. Right, just like our reins. This is right now is a lead rope. If I threw it over her neck and jumped on her right now, it'd be my reins, right? So I think about it in the same manner. Now, let's say she didn't go, right? It's the same thing. You meet room for Jesus in the middle. So if I ask my horse to back up, and I'll start here, I'll start to wiggle this lead rope. If she doesn't respond, I might step towards her. And then there she kind of went off to the side. I just bumped her off the lead rope and then said, hey, now you track back. Okay, a lot of your horses will do that. A lot of your horses, you might start to swing this lead rope because you only have it on one side and they drift out the other way. When I swing that lead rope, I'm kind of looking at the point just inside the point of their shoulder. So I'm not going to reach up underneath and clobber them in the chest with it. I'm coming so they can see it. And so when I start this and I ask her to back up here, if she didn't go, before I move my feet, I'll swing this lead rope and then I'll start to step towards her. And then as she backs up, I'll stop, right? What is the order I just went over? The soft feel on the end of the lead rope, swing the tail of the lead rope, then step towards. But I keep a fair distance, because if I did tap my horse, you know, if you did this on something that was real touchy, you don't want to be up underneath their chin and then end up using those front feet. You can get a lot of this done with very little, because your horse is gonna be like, what's going on? So I say here, then I swing this lead rope and I say, hey, can you back up? I just got her head a little more straight. She's getting a little crooked, but I'll reset for the camera. And so that's how I like to do this, all right? If my horse got super drifty, then I just keep going until they get straight. But it starts with here with my hand, there's the good deal. There she backs up. Right? I didn't have to step towards her that time. If I started to swing that lead rope and she was just standing there glazed over looking at me, I'd take that step towards her. But guys, I'm telling you, I don't want you swinging this lead rope and ending and not actually touching them until you get right here. You need to be, if you're going to make contact, you need to be out here, right? Which means I only went from here maybe 2 steps. That was one bigger step, but I might go here, here, and then I'm not getting any closer. All right. And so this, I've used to back up horses a little bit differently, but I've found with this that before there was just a lot more braciness put in the horses. This way I start here, and if they don't go, I'm just utilizing energy to get them to go back. That energy, I'll just say one more thing before you guys go get started on this, and that it's your intention. If I find this so often with the hindquarters, with the shoulders, with the backup, and with the other exercises coming your way, is that if you don't believe it's gonna happen, it ain't happening. All right, so if you're like, oh, my horse doesn't know how to do this, and then you just be like, okay, I think I'll try to get you to back up. It's not gonna happen. I promise you, I've worked with people of all disciplines, ages, sexes, like, you know, it doesn't happen. It's the start. You have to go, okay, I'm gonna ask you to back up. We're gonna get a little bit closer to backing up. And then you have to be effective, okay? So, recap, soft feel here. If the horse doesn't respond, then you come in with the lead, start swinging the lead rope. If the horse doesn't respond, you step towards that horse, and then you would inadvertently make contact. Again, you're not just going after them. You'll inadvertently make contact because your lead rope should be the correct length. All right, guys, that's number 3 or number 2, depending on which order you had to go in. We're gonna get on to number 4 for everybody.